I have a final question for you guys today, a really fun question for today. And this question comes from a Randy Black. And he writes, Hey Alex, what 90s slash 80s cartoon or series would you like to see made into a movie? So I'm going to take you guys all the way back. Thank you for your question, Randy. Man, I love shows like Boomerang, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, all that good stuff. The show that stands out for me, I only have two, is SWAT Cats. Bro, I used to watch SWAT Cats is before my time. That's what my parents used to watch. My dad put me on SWAT Cats, and I was just like, these are these two cats, really cool cats, and they're superheroes who like save their city, and it's like really cool. If you've never seen it, like I encourage you to Google SWAT Cats. They're really cool. And another one, my second one is Thundercats. I think Thundercats live action would be, or an animated kind of CGI movie would be so cool. And I used to love that mythology. For some reason, Thundercats can't get a good animated TV show. I don't know why. I don't know. But Thundercats and SWAT Cats are really cool. Another one that pops up in my head is obviously Gargoyles from Disney Channel. I think to see a live action of that would be dope. But Jeremy, what 90s TV show or 80s TV show would you like to see made into a movie?
Very good choices, man. I really like the Thundercats. I think that lends itself very nicely to being able to be a cool fantasy epic.
Yeah.
Fantasy is not always in vogue, but I think thanks to Lord of the Rings and then more recently Witcher and obviously Game of Thrones, that it's a viable genre that there's definitely a niche audience for. I think there's a lot of people out there that would go and turn out to a movie based on Thundercats, as well as obviously He-Man Masters of the Universe. I think that's another one that kind of exists in that similar realm where you can build up a nice ensemble cast around it. It's got enough lore that you can kind of mine from what came in the story and the source material before, while presenting it in a way that's interesting, because I feel like there's enough there that it can translate. Like there's a newer version of Thundercats that's actually pretty cool. You know, it's also animated, but I also come back to that conundrum that I mentioned a minute ago, that like what I liked about the 80s animated series when I was a kid is that I was a kid and they were animated series in the 80s. So a lot of the stuff may not translate as well, but then I look at things that Mike Judge has done over the years, whether it be Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, Daria, these shows that are actually very grounded in our reality that would have worked just as well as sitcoms as they do as animated stuff, because there is none of that fantastical elements in it. The laws of physics and reality do apply, right? Like in Looney Tunes, if an anvil falls on your head, it's going to like bounce off and they're going to get the big bruise on their head, right? Well, in Arlen, in King of the Hill, if an anvil falls on your head, you're going to die from it, you know? So I felt like you could do a pretty cool King of the Hill movie. I saw some fan casting where they were like, yeah, Brad Pitt is Boomhauer, and I can't remember who all the other ones were, but I think you could do a cool King of the Hill or Beavis and Butthead movie. So I would go pay tickets to go see any of those.
Awesome. Ian, what about you? What 90s or 80s TV show or cartoon would you like to see made in a live action movie?
Well, you know, it's crazy. I wrote 5 down, but I'm only going to really push one. But out of the 5, you guys mentioned 2 of them. Gargoyles, which I think Jordan Peele is in talks of doing a live action one. And I actually wrote King of the Hill as well on this paper, so it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
But that wasn't my number one choice. But those 2, the fact that you guys said 2 was my 5 is crazy. I'll mention the other 2. I'm gonna mention my number 1. Recess, Dexter's Lab. But my number 1 pick that I would love to see live action would be Pinky and the Brain. And I think the directors of Pinky and the Brain. And I think the director of 21 Jump Street and Spider-Verse, which was Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I think they would kill that. I think that would be my choice right there, Pinky and the Brain. Because as a kid, I thought those 2 mice or rats or whatever they are were hilarious. And I think they could do that. You know, of course, it would have to be CGI, of course, but it'd be great.
Oh yeah, actually, those are some really good choices. King of the Hill. although I was never allowed to watch it as a kid, but I watched it recently. I'm like, yo, that would be amazing. Dexter's Lab would be very interesting. But if you tell Dexter, I want to see an older Dexter. Like, what would have been like older and like still a genius? I think that would be dope. But what do you guys think in the comment section below? Huh?
Do you think he would have got taller eventually?
Oh, of course. I think so. Cause in the show, he's like 3, right? Like,
I don't know how old he is. He's very tiny, and his sister's extremely tall. You would think there might be some misogynistic stuff going on in that household.
yeah. But what do you guys think? What nostalgic TV show would you like to see made into a movie? And what are your favorite nostalgic 80s or 90s TV shows that you would like to see? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And thank